We are back with another episode of the Forsyth Mags podcast. And today I have two very special guests. I have Ali Poplin and Mike McGilvary. They are both representing Trellis Supportive Care. They are both on the Foundation Leadership Council. Hey, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Hey, Brooke. Good to see you again. Thank you.
Good to see you. So we are here to talk about one of my favorite events of the year, the 12th annual. I cannot believe it's been going on for 12 years, but the 12th annual Trellis Support Derby Party, which is always the first weekend in May. So this year, it's May 4th. So I think there's going to be a Star Wars theme, right?
Yeah, my husband will probably be wearing a Star Wars bow tie. So
May the 4th be with you. Yeah. I love it. So before we dive into all things about this event, I want to kind of talk about Trellis Supportive Care and why this fundraising event is so important for our community.
Sure. So, I mean, gosh, Trellis is an incredible organization here in town. So they are a nonprofit hospice and palliative care provider. They're actually the first nonprofit hospice provider in North Carolina. They provide really just an amazing set of services for the Triad area. So I think everyone knows about just traditional hospice care already, so I won't dive into too much detail about that. They do have this beautiful Catherine Reynolds campus for hospice patients that are not going to be staying in their home and want to stay off site can stay there. They also, of course, provide in-home services. And I mean, just the list of ancillary services they do is really great. At our leadership council meetings, we always start out with a mission moment to learn more about Trellis and what they're doing. And at our last meeting, we learned about music therapy sessions that they provide, that they offer to their patients.
Oh, very cool.
It was so cool. And one of the music therapists came in and told us about how she sat down with one of the patients and she wrote a song with him so that, after he passed, they went ahead and recorded this song, and his family had that memento to keep of him, of the song he wrote for them.
That's so special.
It was so special. And I mean, I think that's just really the Trellis way, is creating not only giving very compassionate care, but really creating special moments for these families in a really hard time.
Yeah. Well, and I know they offer some phenomenal grief counseling.
They do, yes. Yeah. Incredible grief counseling for families after, after everything happens. They also offer a great children's camp Carousel. And I mean, from this party, 100% of our proceeds are going to go to support those types of activities. So grief counseling, Camp Carousel, you name it.
So cool story. One of a family member of mine lost her husband. He was at Trellis for his last at least couple weeks, maybe even up to a month. And she ended up meeting someone several months later in grief counseling at Trellis who had lost his wife, and they are now happily married a couple years later.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that cool?
That is so cool.
And it was funny because she did not want to go to grief counseling. She's some people are, that can be hard, especially for the older age demographic. They might not think they need therapy or counseling.
Sure. Yeah.
But we're all glad that she went.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
That's such a great story.
Yeah.
And I'll just add, I've only been on the council for 2 years now. You guys are the culprits for that. So, and I appreciate it very much. It's been the opportunity of a lifetime to kind of learn more about their mission and see that compassion come through. The coolest thing about our meetings is that beginning mission moment, because when you're growing up, and you're kind of getting into your professional working career, you may or may not know the ins and outs of what hospice does, but it's cool to see the passion that comes through during those mission moments for the nonprofit staff over there. And it's really cool to be a part of that as part of the Leadership Council.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that was the Trellis Leadership Council. At the time, it was Hospice Leadership Council. They were one of the first professional groups that I joined as a very young, early 20-something. And great relationships were built. And I think it's just good to know about Trellis, because everybody's going to, need that at some point for their family members, so it's just an important nonprofit in our community.
Exactly.
So let's dive into the Derby Party. This is a event that the Leadership Council specifically started 12 years ago. and it has been a huge success every year. It's always so much fun. It's a live stream of the Kentucky Derby. The venue is the same this year, right?
It is, yes. So downtown in the Innovation Quarter at the Wake Forest Biotech Place.
Yeah, which is so beautiful, all the windows.
Yeah.
And so it's a chance, May 4th, for you to get dressed up in all your Derby attire. Come have all the traditional Derby drinks, Derby appetizers, and watch the races. And there's a silent auction, I'm sure, again.
Yes.
Yep. All the fun things. So, Ali, tell us a little bit more about what we can expect at the Derby party.
Sure. So it'll start this year a little earlier than last year. We're opening the doors at 4:30 instead of 5 for general admission. If you buy a VIP ticket, you get to come in 30 minutes early at 4 o'clock. We're going to have great drinks again. Of course, we'll have the Kentucky Derby specials, the mint julep and the oak lily. If you're like me and don't really want a bourbon drink, the oak lily is for you.
What? Wait. How can someone not want a bourbon?
I do not want a bourbon drink.
I love a
I'm with you
bourbon
too.
drink, but the next day I'm like, I should have stuck with the oak lily.
The oak
That is
lily
true.
is vodka?
Yes, it's
Okay.
vodka. Oh gosh, I'm gonna mess up these ingredients. I think there's some cranberry in there. Maybe it's pink. It's pretty.
It's all about the visual.
If you don't like bourbon,
It will
it's for
match
you.
my outfit.
I love it. Is there going to be a hat contest again this
Yes,
year?
of course. We'll have a hat contest and a bow tie contest.
Okay.
So come dressed in your best.
Yep.
Bigger the hat, the
I
better.
mean, think about there's not a lot of other times a year where you can wear a ginormous hat. So,
Exactly.
take
I think
advantage of it.
You used to be you were always the winner of the hat competition, Brooke.
I won a couple years, I think.
Yeah.
It's always, my secret mission to find the most obnoxious hat that I can find.
That's the point.
I know. Last year, I was like, I can't be the one to judge this competition because I knew that I would just pick you. Because I'm just at this point, I'm just so used to picking you as the winner. So I made someone who didn't know you
The key
judge
is
the
to walk
competition.
around a lot so that everyone sees your hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want other people talking about your hat.
Yeah. There is some creativity that goes into people's outfits, though. It's awesome.
There really is. I mean, it's just, when else can you dress up like this?
It's a
in
great
Winston?
time, and if you guys obviously don't know, you're talking to the reigning bow tie champion right now.
Oh.
I forgot you did win last year.
So the 2023 bow tie champion is on air. But no, it's just such a good time, and it's really one of those things you make it what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you want to just go and have a good time and have a little bit of a party, go do it. If you want to make it a networking opportunity, it's great for that too. I can't tell you all the connections I've made from the Leadership Council and just the party, and I've only been on the council for a year and a half, going on 2. So it's a great cause, super interactive live music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rain Shack. I don't know if y'all have heard of them. They're a great band. It's like bluegrass type music.
Oh,
so they'll
very
be back
cool.
this year. It's the
Okay.
same band we had last year. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
And they love this party too. We're
Oh,
really
yeah.
thankful to have their support.
I love it. So to hop back into what Mike was saying about how great of a networking opportunity this is or can be, let's talk about how, if you're a young professional and you're interested in potentially joining the Leadership Council, how would you go about learning more about that?
Of course. So we do have a website. If you go to Trellis Derby Party, is it .org.com?
Yeah,
I think it's one of the
two.
Try
I'm
to
pretty,
org.
I'm pretty sure it's .org.
Okay, when I type in Trellis Derby Party in my
just pops
browser,
up.
it pops up automatically.
There's
Yeah.
probably not another Trellis Derby party. So
Yeah, I think they're safe
I bought my
if they
tickets
just
this
Google that.
morning, and I Googled Trellis Derby Party, and it came right up.
Okay,
Perfect.
TrellisDerbyParty.org.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, so if you go to that website, on the main page, my email will be there. It's afenno@ktslaw.com. You can just reach out to me if you'd like to join. Technically, our new membership season won't start till next January. That's when we'll have member orientation, but we're always recruiting new members, and I would love to get lunch with anyone that's interested in joining.
Yeah, and are there any specific requirements for
Yeah,
members?
there really aren't requirements, but just a little more about the council itself. So we're a group of young professionals here in Winston. So ranging, honestly, under 40.
Yeah.
So I use
Yeah.
the term young loosely since I'm no longer in my 20s.
under 40 is young.
Right, under 40 is young.
I can attest.
But it's I think really we just want people that want to get involved in Winston. I think I was so thankful to find this group because I always knew I wanted to get involved. And I think, I don't know, especially as a young professional, it can be kind of intimidating, you know, seeing all these different nonprofit boards. And I'm not from Winston, so I didn't really know anyone, and I didn't know how to kind of get into the giving back bubble, I guess you could say.
Sure.
And this is just a really good introduction to that.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard them refer to it as like the baby board. So it's like good training for if you are interested in later becoming on the Trellis board. You know, great opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah, and our leadership council members get invited to every board meeting. You can join committees of the board if you'd like. We're non-voting members, but it's great to just attend those board meetings because Trellis has such a really just well-run board with very active members that are also leaders in the community too. So not only are you giving back, but it's great networking as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So Mike said that you bought your tickets this morning.
I did.
Tell us about the different ticket levels and options and how that works.
Sure.
Yep. So I know that there's VIP and I know that there's general admission. The VIP gives you 30-minute access, you know, so a little bit earlier you can show up to buy a ticket for. Highly recommend. We've been VIP ticket holders for the past 2 years. And then the general admission is at 4:30. How many drink tickets do folks get? Is it because I know it's open. I know it's kind of an open bar, but they're obviously accepting donations and that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. So it's open bar. I don't remember how many drink tickets we're offering.
Well, and the
this year.
VIP has their own special bar.
They do.
That's
so
correct.
VIP, if you want to skip the lines, we do have 2 bars for general admission set up. So lines shouldn't be too long. But if you want to skip any line at all, you should get a VIP
That's
ticket.
right. VIP.
Brooke, that sounds like you have experience with that.
I'm always a VIP.
And VIPs also get a special cup to bring home that'll be engraved with the Trellis Kentucky Derby Party.
Love it.
And it's a signature mint julep cup. So get a VIP ticket for the whole family. You can
There you
come
go.
home with a VIP cup set.
Yeah.
So I assume the event is for 21 and up.
That's correct.
Correct.
Yes. You do need to be 21 in order to attend.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, 18-year-olds.
You'll be there in a few years.
Yeah.
Don't rush things.
Yes. And so we talked about the specialty drinks. You said there is going to be a silent auction.
There is, yes. So we are so lucky. We have great businesses, local businesses here in town who are generous enough to donate lots of cool items to our silent auction. Last year we had gift cards to boutiques, gift baskets filled with like purses and accessories from boutiques.
Yeah.
We also had someone made. We had a woodworker here in town that made us a really cool custom. Was it a dresser or no, a coffee table?
Oh, yes.
coffee
I
table,
remember
that was
Custom
it.
coffee table.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we always have great auction items.
Yeah, it's cool to see the small business community come together for that part of it because there's some really, really cool, intricate, unique gifts in that
Yeah.
and as part of the silent auction. And we donated a bottle of bourbon last year, a
okay.
Marzano bottle of bourbon last year. So
My husband was so upset when he didn't win that bottle. Someone outbid him every 2 minutes. They'd outbid him.
I feel like it was a pretty heated competition last year. I remember people were
really was.
piranhas hovering over
It really
at the very
was.
end of the bidding process,
oh yeah, yeah,
which
it
is
was-
always fun.
And if you get a VIP ticket, you get first dibs on those items.
you
That's
go.
right.
30 extra minutes to scope everything out.
So I know in years past I know we're not allowed to do betting or gambling, but isn't there don't y'all do some kind of something with tickets where you can choose who you think might win for the horse race?
Yes, we do. So essentially there's 2 levels of chance. We're going to have we call it a horse raffle.
Okay.
So all the horses will be set up on a table with a bowl in front of them, a little fish bowl, and you can purchase raffle tickets at the event. If you're a VIP ticket holder, you'll just get
That's
raffle.
what I was referencing.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, not the drink tickets. Excuse me. Yeah.
You'll get we call them event vouchers. So
Okay.
they're essentially raffle tickets to use on the horse raffle or at other activities that are around the event. But essentially, pick your favorite horse and may the odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah.
You put however many raffle tickets you want to put on that horse into the fishbowl. And at the end of the party, we will draw a couple names from the winning
Very
horse
cool.
bowl.
I like to pick the underdog and just hope for the best.
I wish
Yep.
I wish I knew that much about them. I would just go for the cool name.
Yeah, another good option. I just do a quick little Google search. I don't know anything about horse racing. And it's so exciting to actually watch it on the big screen at the end of the event. So
It is. It's so much fun. We'll have a big screen up, so everyone doesn't matter what seat you're in, you'll
Yeah.
get a great view of the Derby.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to kind of piggyback off of is like the energy that's going on during the actual race. Like the lead up is fun because everybody's getting there and everybody's chatting and having a good time, and you can just hear the room and getting louder and louder. And then as the race starts, it's quiet, and then it just gets really, really loud at the very end. So it's just really cool to see that energy kind of go through the room during
That
the
is
race.
cool.
Yeah.
And before we started recording, Ali was telling me that there's going to be a 360 photo booth
There
this
is,
year, which that
yes.
is so cool.
Yes, so it'll have a backdrop of, like we always do, if you've been to the party before, a pretty photo booth with like Churchill Downs as
Yeah.
the background photo, so you can pretend that you're at the real Derby. And this year it'll be similar to that, but we also have a 365-degree camera, like they do at all of the Hollywood things.
So cool.
Yeah,
I
it'll be
love that.
fun.
I think what else did we miss talking about this event? So tickets are already on sale.
They are. So general admission is $75.
Okay.
VIP is $150.
Okay.
We will eventually reach capacity at some point, so buy your ticket early just to secure a spot. If we do have room, when the event happens, you can also buy them at the door.
Okay.
And
But
you'll-
probably safe
yeah,
to go ahead and buy them in advance.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's
just
busy.
in case it
Yeah.
gets busy.
It's busy. It's busy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on to chat with us. Anything that we need to talk about that we left out?
Two other things I just wanted to make a plug on is if you're interested in sponsoring,
Yes.
Okay.
we have some really good sponsorship opportunities. Our company has taken advantage of that over the past couple years and continue to bar sponsor again, hopefully
Yes.
for this year. So that'll be fun.
Very important sponsorship, the bar sponsorship.
And the money raised last year, Ali, wasn't it like $20,000?
It was after expenses. It was over that, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
mean, and like we said earlier, all of this money is going to support
It's huge.
Trellis and these outside services that really make Trellis unique and be able to provide the best care to its patients and their families. So
Yeah, I know when this event started years and years ago, it, as most fundraising events do, it did well, but it just keeps raising more and more money every year, which is very
Yeah.
exciting.
yeah, it's been really fun to be with the council for so many years and see that type of growth
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have another thing, Mike? You said you had two things.
No, that was it about just the money raised. I mean, and I guess the last thing too is this is a nonprofit event that doesn't drag on.
Yeah,
And I don't mean to throw shade at the nonprofit around. I'm involved with a whole bunch of nonprofits, luckily, and that's a privilege to be a part of them. But this is an event that you can get in and get out, have a good time, and then get on with your day.
Yep.
And you did it for a good cause, and you had a good
Exactly.
time.
It's one of the few
Yep.
events I attend where usually I'm kind of like looking at the clock, like,
Yeah.
is it rude to leave now? Whereas
Right.
with this one, I feel like we are like kicking people out. We're
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry,
Oh,
but the
every
event
year.
is over.
It's
It goes
time
by
to go
so
home.
fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes for how much fun it is.
Oh, yeah. And if you want to continue the fun, it spills over to other places nearby.
I was gonna
So-
suggest, yeah, it's right downtown. So I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
people a lot of times will go like out to dinner after or out to like dram and drow. There's plenty of close by places right nearby.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, be sure to purchase your ticket, trellisderbyparty.org. They are on sale now, and it's an event you're not going to want to miss.
Yes.
All
Come have
right.
fun with us.
Thanks, guys. And as always, you can find Forsyth Mags on social media and online, forsythmags.com, and on Instagram and Facebook at Forsyth Mags. And that's it for today. The views and opinions stated on this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our distributors or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Forsyth Magazines Incorporated. Ooh, that's a mouthful.